to look at the list because there were many.
But look faster.
I'm looking faster. SGR.
So you're a journalist. You should be able to read.
Ambulance.
Hi everyone. Welcome to DoWeDoIt.
Hello! We are here. We're out here. We are present. We're involved.
Edition.
Is it gonna act like you just didn't say that?
Say what? No, what is it? Aki Onyis, you can't be so.
About seeing you?
He's your Taras.
I don't know if
Stress
you
your
should
breast.
continue to allow drinking on you. Oh, I love that! Hakuna Yatadas. De-stress your breast. Okay, so there was this guy called John Wasonga who was selling tickets from the SGR in Mombasa, because if you watched the last episode, you know that if you want to buy an SGR ticket, you have to literally go all the way to the freaking terminus to buy a
not
fucking
close.
ticket. Which is not
Not
close.
even
In any situation. Either in Mombasa or in Nairobi,
By
it's
any
not close.
definition. Hey, the one in
No,
Mombasa.
but Siokimau,
It's
you can get to.
It's manageable.
My friend, Miritini.
It's not
Okay,
a
you're
joke.
pigging laps.
And the road is not a joke.
There are no signs. You might end up in a lake or a swamp or some
But
other.
there's a swamp.
Yeah.
No, legit. There's
As
a swamp
legit,
next
you go
to it.
past
Yeah.
a swamp.
Yeah.
Hey, you're checking through someone's backyard.
Yeah.
Even going back
my
with
man.
a guy from Mombasa, the guy was like, you guys didn't know this. He kept stopping. He was like, is this the road? It's like, no.
As we
Is this
watch
the road?
little school children
No.
climbing hills to go to school.
man.
It's a joke.
Place is
Like,
far.
so this guy was like, people don't want to make this trip. People like the
And
people
as
on this
Kenyans
couch,
do.
and as Kenyans do.
He was enterprising.
Exactly. So he was like, I'll buy you a ticket.
Opportunity.
Just pay me 2 SOK and I'll deliver it to where you are. So if you want to buy a 700 bob ticket, you pay 9 SOK and he delivers it to you, instead of you having to probably spend that 2 SOK on fuel or whatever.
Yeah.
Even more.
Getting to even more.
Because the traffic is
Anytime.
going to that place.
Is also
It's
not
not
a
easy.
joke. Like the Changamwe.
Especially the Mombasa one. You know, in Nairobi, you can say, okay, there's not much traffic, but Mombasa.
You can go at like 1. Hey,
man.
Mombasa, fam. It was a joke. So this guy, John Osonga, was now arrested by like the Mombasa County Commissioner or whatever.
For selling
as
tickets.
Because he's overpricing tickets. So I was just like,
But he's not. He didn't go anywhere saying I'm an agent of SGR.
No.
He didn't go anywhere saying I'm
Which is
selling
exactly
you
the
SGR
point.
tickets. He said I'll buy your tickets, pay me
And
2 SOK.
deliver it to you.
So
Which
why
is the
was
key
he
aspect
arrested?
of that.
He's charging for delivery, not for the ticket.
How many of us pay like a boda guy to
deliver really cold the
stuff
shaky
for us?
hoodies.
It's not that exact. Hey, the shaky hoodies. My guy, Black Panther.
Hey!
Go ahead. Where is it?
Ha, my man. It's over there. We'll take a picture. We'll take a picture in it.
Okay.
So how many of us pay delivery charges for things that we could get, but
We
it's
don't
just
want to.
yeah, it just does not make sense in the time that it takes to go there and come back to do it.
Exactly. Just like if you're ordering a book from Magunga Bookstore.
Magunga
That
Bookstore,
stops only
they
African
deliver.
books. They deliver.
Yes.
And it's 250 bob anywhere in the country. But would you rather come from Meru to get a book, or would you rather...
How much is a ticket from Meru to Nairobi?
Ah.
A lot.
It doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, so he was released, and I'm glad he was released because like his charges wouldn't have held up. But I don't understand what this crushing of the enterprising spirit is. Like, you guys didn't
They
think of
just
this
don't
shit
want it
for
to
yourself.
prosper because-
No, but they should have thought of it themselves.
I'm sure they have. They're
Like,
just
why did
worried. They were
SGR do
concerned
it?
that this guy was already doing it before them.
But if you're not giving me an M-Pesa option,
But
you're
you
not
see,
giving me...
therein lies the problem. If you, as the provider of a service, do not allow access or do not put in place ways for people to access it,
Then
and
what
someone
you want
else
people to
does,
do?
so how is that a crime? It's your fucking
He's made it
problem.
easier for people to buy the tickets. You
Yeah.
should actually be paying him.
Yeah.
Exactly. In fact, you can pay him now because he's out of jail. If you want to buy a ticket to the SGR in Mombasa, just call John Wasonga.
John Wasonga
He's on
will
Facebook
sort
and
you
everything.
out. So there's a guy.
So there was this chap on Twitter who was dating this lady, and they had unprotected sex, I assume, because that's how she got pregnant. And then she decided that she's going to have an abortion. I don't know if they discussed it beforehand, but she had an abortion, and then he was angry. So I guess instead of using any other avenue at
Like
all,
what?
such as mediation, discussion, getting a plane to fly, a banner, like literally taking out an ad in the paper, like literally anything else I could have done, he decided that the best course of, I guess, recourse or reparation, whatever he felt wronged. So he put the nudes, her nudes, because I guess they were in a thing together, so he had her nudes on Twitter.
Yes, man.
And then guys were asking him like,
Why?
don't you feel like, like why? And then he's like, I don't care, she killed my baby. And I understand, like...
I understand she killed your baby. However, I feel there's no situation in which nudes being posted is
None?
None. Unless she asks you to post her nudes. you can't post a nude.
Okay, but like what?
You're angry, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
can't
like you don't
post
feel
a
like
nude.
there's sometimes where your anger justifies the action after.
No,
For
not
example,
in
if you
that
punch
case.
my mother, there's gonna be a problem.
Yeah,
there's gonna
you'll have
be
a
a problem.
response,
You'll have
but
a
it's not
response.
justified just because you're angry.
Okay.
I think there's like an element of trust that exists. Like at the point you're exchanging news, there must be an element of trust that exists on both sides.
Do you have nudes?
Huh?
Do you have nudes?
Hey,
In your youth?
in my youth.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they've
But
never
I've
been
seen-
like leaked or.
Not as far as I'm aware.
Do you have nudes?
Yeah, many.
And what? And
Because I
then.
might have lighting. They're full HD.
Full HD. Yeah.
Do
I'm
other
telling you,
people-
There's a
this is the
tripod
thing.
somewhere.
If I release these things once, they'd be like on some gallery
Welcome
somewhere,
back.
like way.
Do you have like a?
But that's the point.
I'm
Lying on the
ready.
couch, man.
I've
we
never
must.
shared your nudes. Like, do you share
No,
your nudes?
why?
Do you share them?
No,
Or
they were
the nudes are for
taken in
you?
confidence. They're not nudes
Wait,
for the people.
No, like with a timer, like you took them alone.
No, not my nudes.
Oh.
Then my
I
nudes in
was
terms
talking
of
about
I took
your
them.
nudes. No, I meant you as in
of you, yeah.
Of me?
Yes. If
Ah,
one universe is me asking
when-
if you have nudes
And then you've taken.
Because they're my pictures. If I ever get to the gains level of like a Lewis Hamilton, my nudes don't need to be leaked.
Yeah. They'll just be out there.
I'll have a show.
Just this is what you could have.
Today we are having a look at the face. 5 minutes. To just,
Okay, so you've never
I have-
shared, you don't have nudes
I have
of
shared
yourself.
pictures of myself naked.
Okay. And they've never leaked out?
No.
Okay, so you were saying like there's a certain level of trust.
There's a certain element of trust which I think goes both ways within that scenario.
There's
Right?
expected.
And that's the expected trust. And that's not just about news. I think it's about like
Everything.
everything you share within a relationship that you know is just between
Even
the two.
secrets.
But shouldn't you also
So
yeah,
now,
that's what I'm
at
saying.
some, like in terms of recourse to being angered, I think there's ways to address it. I don't think like in terms of sharing news, you're actually addressing your anger.
Like it's
you're
not commensurate actually.
not even commensurate. It has
It's
nothing to do
It's
with
not
each
related,
other.
yeah.
They're
With evening
totally
out.
unrelated.
Like you mean if we're talking about resolution
yeah,
of your own.
of your own issues with someone ending up, like your partner ending their pregnancy. You sharing news has nothing at all to do with that. It's about you trying to hurt
Hurt them,
them
yeah.
because you feel they've hurt you. And yes, like the conversation that interests me is like, you know, what within that scenario in terms of as a woman, like asking you as a woman, you know, having
I'm a
power and autonomy over your body and perhaps having the idea that or the feeling that it's your body, your choice, you know, the child you're carrying or that will eventually bear, it's your choice whether or not to bear it to term. What point, like what part do you feel your partner plays in that?
So
Because I don't think that's really defined a lot of the time. Like you think about what's this? There was a stand-up Chris Rock did, and he was talking about that the only response you can give when a woman says she's
What do
pregnant
you
is
wanna
what
do?
you want to do.
Yeah.
And you know I've never felt comfortable with that idea because I feel like, okay, let's say you don't feel that you can carry this pregnancy, but at the same time, what if you did? Would you then expect me to be a part of that child's life for the next infinitesimal number of years? You know, until I pass away, kind of thing.
I think it depends. Like, I think the correct answer is not necessarily what do you want to do. It's that. I think the response should be, listen, if you want to have the baby, I will be there for you. If you don't want to have the baby, I'm also there for you. So what do you want to do? Like,
But
I feel
that's
like
not-
there should be a
that- I
statement
think-
of
I
what
think-
you want to do also.
Do
Like,
you
there should
think-
definitely be a conversation.
Yes,
But
for
the
sure.
way you frame that conversation, do
Is
you
what
feel
I
I
think.
can say that I don't want you to terminate this pregnancy?
Of course, you should be able to say that you don't want. You should be able
That's
to say
not
that
what
you
you
don't
just
want-
said, though.
That's
Or-
what I just said. I said if you want to have the baby, I'm sorry,
Okay.
I should have added. Okay,
Yeah.
if you want to have the baby,
Yeah.
cool. If you don't want to have the baby, cool. I would like to have the baby, or
Yeah.
I would not like to have the baby, but I would like to leave the decision to you. I also don't know if women should be given like, okay, this might sound strange, but like, okay, obviously women bear the brunt of responsibility for the pregnancy, for the nurturing, biological, what your body is the one that changes. It's just like contraception. A woman's body is the one that bears the most, unless you're like using a condom, I guess. Oh my gosh, female diaphragm condom.
It took you so long to think about like using a condom.
Yeah, I vaguely remember what that's like. So, like, I feel like, yeah, the woman should have the veto power, but like, I kind of reject the idea that
The
I'm
veto
going
power
to
is there
ignore
without-
completely
yeah.
what
Yeah.
you want. Like,
There definitely should be a discussion saying, I, as the man, want you to do this with our baby, or want you, this is what I want from this situation. What would you like as the
What do you
situation.
want from the situation?
If you both want to have the baby, great. If you both don't want to have the baby, great. If there's a incongruence, you have to come to some sort of resolution. But if also there's no resolution to that problem, then I feel because the baby is in the woman's body, it's her decision what she does with it. But once you've had that discussion, then there's no room for anger.
Like, yeah, exactly.
There's
yeah,
no room for anger. It's like, I consulted you and you know what I wanted to do.
Communication.
Yeah. But that's another thing. Like, why with your anger now, the best thing that you feel to do is to
Pettiness.
I'm not against pettiness. Like a
then that's what it is. Then
but
that's what you're supporting.
That's
what you're
that
supporting.
doesn't feel like pettiness.
That's pettiness. You're trying to make someone angry.
Although there's something
You're trying to help someone. Yeah. You're not gaining from it. You just want
like
to
this is not going to help your situation where the baby
I feel
has
like
been.
pettiness is like when you know that your boss likes a specific type of coffee, so you take out all of the coffee sachets.
Yeah, this is extreme.
That's extreme pettiness, but it's still
I feel
petty.
like it's different. Okay, I feel like it's different. But there's something that you said that I wanted to explore. When you were like, the person, you were trying to hurt the person who hurt you by hurting them. Do you feel like that's unhealthy?
Sana.
For sure.
Sana. Guaranteed. Because that's, I don't feel like within that scenario, I don't think there's an end point for it. Because then, like, I feel a lot of like negative relationships I've experienced, and it's just not like with dating someone, but also like in terms of friendships, in terms of family. A lot of it has become this sort of, you get into this cycle of hurting each other where you're like, oh, you've hurt me, I'll hurt you.
No,
and then they're like,
it's tennis all over again.
It's literally it's just tennis going back and forth.
I don't necessarily feel like, for example,
I don't think you can get closure.
If me and you are dating, and then I cheat. No, if me and you are
You
dating,
next.
and then you cheat on me with Onyi, okay?
Yay!
And then I find out, and we haven't had a conversation about like polyamory or overstepping or whatever. And then I find out, and then you didn't tell me, and then when I ask you, you deny it, and like you just really don't do anything to make the situation. I will be keying your car, like guaranteed.
Yeah, still you'll be cheated on.
Yeah, I've been cheated on.
But still petty.
I've
Change
Still petty.
everything in the scenario.
But I feel better. I bust the windows at your car. I'll feel better.
Yeah, still petty.
Okay, even if it's petty,
but
that's
you
not what I'm
felt
arguing. I'm
better.
arguing.
But my question is like, okay, you felt better in
Have you resolved the situation?
immediate, but you've
Does
not
that feel better?
resolved. I don't feel that has contributed to your long-term happiness, because what you'll go on with what you'll go on with is the questioning in terms of why this happened, and that can only you sure.
No,
that
because-
you're saying that won't affect all of your
Let me
relationships.
tell you why it won't affect my relationships going forward.
What,
Because
keying it
more
up?
often, the resolution. Because more often than not, when relationships end, you don't even get resolution. You don't have the privilege of sitting down with someone and being like, "Why did you leave me?" Let me tell you, every time a motherfucker has broken my heart, I'm not bitter at all. Every time he's broken my heart, I'm always like, "Oh my gosh, why?" And sometimes I even ask them why, and I get nothing. It doesn't help anything. So if I'm keying your car, and I legitimately feel I've been wronged, and maybe by society standards I really have been wronged or whatever, I'll feel better, and then we'll move on. And you will.
But the question, okay, yes.
Hashtag juice,
Hashtag juice, my friend.
Someone said.
But my question is like, okay, yes, you'll feel better, but you have to also take into account the fact that it opens the door for retaliation. And like, my general view is actions have consequences. Okay, you keep my car, you bust my lights. See, you have a car.
It's also true.
So you have a house.
It's also true. It's also
you have
where
a
does
job.
the escalation
But that's the thing. You also
stop?
you also have to be prepared if you're gonna think of. It's like Hatsugi was saying.
And that's
if
what
you're
she's
gonna
not
do that,
saying.
You need
is
to
a
just
lot of people
realize-
don't retaliate, but when someone does, because the thing about those situations is everybody's unreasonable.
You know,
You don't know how they're going to retaliate. You keep their car, this guy can burn down your house.
I guess I'm just a petty bitch then, because I'm like, I'm gonna do everything to fuck up your life. If you fuck up my life, friend, I'm gonna be like, who's your boss? Do I know him? Oh, you want to write for the nation? I'm petty as fuck, guys. I am. I'm sorry. What do you guys think? Are you petty as fuck? Are you team petty?
Do you believe in resolution?
Do you believe
Do you believe in moving on? Do you believe in king a car? Just tell us.
Hashtag Jules.
Hashtag Jules.
Hashtag petty. Let us know. Bye.
Bye bye.
I'm gonna try and speak louder now. So.
Unapenda kumwaga mwaga ovyo ovyo.
Mwaga tu nje.
Maguga hucha appreciate that umemwagia mtu nje.